The phone already in your pocket can turn into a satellite phone. No new hardware. The next time it says no service, that might not be the end of the story. But which version you get was decided the day you picked your carrier. On T-Mobile, you're on the side that's already live. On Verizon or AT&T, you're on the side that's still being built. And here's the part nobody mentions. The company on your bill doesn't even own the network, it's renting it. So here's the scorecard, the pitch against what you actually get. Because you're already on one of these sides whether you know it or not, and which one you're on changes everything. Start with the side that already works. If T-Mobile is the name on your bill, your phone connects through Starlink. It's the same Starlink that brings the internet to remote cabins and RVs. The difference is this version skips the dish and talks straight to the phone in your hand. T-Mobile calls it T-Satellite, and it's been live since July of last year. For most phones, there's nothing to buy and nothing to install. You walk out of cell range, your phone quietly hands off to a satellite instead of a tower, and your texts keep going like nothing happened. Verizon and AT&T are a different story. Their satellite plans ride on a company called AST SpaceMobile, and here's the honest part, it's not here yet. AST is still building its network in orbit one launch at a time. The promise is real, but not something you can switch on tonight. None of this was your decision. The company you pay every month quietly picked your satellite network for you, probably before you had ever heard the words Starlink or AST. That's the first line of the board, who you are with, and whether it actually works yet. So one side works today, the other is coming. That sounds like a small gap. It isn't, because just days ago, if you're on Verizon or AT&T, your wait quietly got longer. And what caused it is the next part of this story. Picture yourself out of signal, phone in your hand right now. On the Starlink side, something actually happens. You can text a family member, drop your location, pull up WhatsApp or Google Maps. It works today through a network of more than 650 satellites already circling overhead. That's not a demo or a someday promise. That's real people in real dead zones this year on the largest network of its kind in the world, running while you watch this. Now, the side you were just told to keep waiting on. And this is where you have to be careful because the pitch sounds finished and the reality is not. AST has a small fleet in orbit, 9 working satellites right now with 3 more set to launch in the first half of August. Real progress. But the service Verizon and AT&T customers were promised is not turned on for them yet. And here's why that wait just got even longer. For most of this year, AST said full, continuous service would land by late 2026. Then just days ago, in a filing on July 15th, it quietly moved that to early 2027. The reason is blunt. One of the rockets it was counting on, Blue Origin's New Glenn, blew up on the ground during a test in late May. And earlier this year, another New Glenn flight dropped an AST satellite in the wrong orbit and lost it. Fewer rockets means fewer satellites in the sky, and fewer satellites means you keep waiting. So here's the honest gap. One network is already keeping people connected tonight, letting them send texts, share their location, and use the apps that matter in an emergency. The other is a serious, well-funded company that's still racing to get enough satellites into orbit before its service can even switch on. Let's update the board. On status, it isn't close. Starlink is live right now, with more than 650 satellites overhead. AST is still launching, and the service it promised just got pushed to 2027. So why would anyone wait on the side that's behind? Here's the twist. AST isn't trying to catch up to Starlink, it's trying to leap past it. Starlink can push a text through from the middle of nowhere. AST wants to deliver real internet, real speed, and real data to that same phone, with no tower for miles. That's a much bigger promise, and whether it can deliver on that promise comes down to the strangest part of this whole story. The sheer size of the satellites AST is putting into orbit. The answer is already sitting in orbit, and it's enormous. Each of AST's newest satellites unfolds an antenna roughly the size of a small house, about 2,400 square feet once fully deployed, the largest of its kind ever flown. And that size is the whole reason anyone would wait for it, because the two companies solve the same brutal problem in opposite ways. Your phone has a tiny antenna, the same one that drops a call inside a parking garage. And both networks are asking it to reach something hundreds of miles up, moving thousands of miles an hour. Starlink's answer was to go wide. Put up a lot of smaller satellites, get the network live, keep the job simple. What you get today is texting, your location, and a handful of apps that matter when it counts. Enough to call for help or tell someone you're safe, genuinely useful, just not fast. AST made the opposite bet. Fewer satellites, but each one enormous and pointed at a much bigger prize. Not just texts, real 4G, even 5G straight to the phone already in your pocket. In orbit, AST has already clocked speeds close to 100 megabits per second. That's not a message squeaking through a crack. That's the kind of speed you'd stream video on. So here's what it actually means for you. Starlink hands you a lifeline that works today. Texts, your location, the maps you'd need out there, all of it working right now. AST is aiming far higher, the full internet on your phone, and it has already hit those speeds in testing. But testing is the key word. If you're on Verizon or AT&T, you can't use any of it yet. That's the whole trade, a lifeline today against real internet that might still be a year or two away. So it sounds like a fair fight, until you notice the one thing neither carrier wants you thinking about. In this whole story, you are not the customer, you are the passenger. Because the network your phone rides on, your carrier doesn't even own it, it's renting it. And who actually owns it changes everything about what you pay. So who does own it? Two names that never show up on your phone bill, but decide almost everything about what you pay. Starlink belongs to SpaceX, Elon Musk's company. AST is different, it owns its own network. Verizon and AT&T put money in, but they're just investors, not the owners. Either way, the carrier you pay owns nothing. It rents the signal and sells it back to you. And that's the part that quietly reaches your wallet. Because the company that decides what this costs and how good it ever gets isn't the name you pay every month. It's the operator up in orbit. Right now, T-Satellite runs about $10 a month, and it's free on T-Mobile's top plans. But the price, the speed, and the features are all set by SpaceX and AST, not by your carrier. And here's the twist that cuts the other way. Because AST isn't live yet, SpaceX has an opening and it's taking it. Today, even a Verizon or AT&T customer can switch on T-Satellite for that same $10 a month, as long as their phone supports it. So the only network live today is quietly signing up the other side's customers while those carriers are still building. That's the real question hiding under all the hype, not which carrier has the better logo. Who owns the sky above your phone? Because whoever owns it sets your price and sets your timeline, and you just go along for the ride. Which finally brings us to the only question you came here to answer, not who wins, which one is right for you, and that answer flips completely, depending on the logo we started with, the one already sitting on your phone bill. So let's answer it, honestly, based on the logo already sitting on your bill. If you're on T-Mobile, you already have this. Walk out of range today, and your phone keeps working, texts, your location, the apps that matter when it counts. You're on the network that's live. For you, this isn't a someday feature, it's a tonight feature. If you're on Verizon or AT&T, here's the straight talk. Your carrier made a real bet on a real company, but you're the one waiting, and that wait just got longer. The full always-on service is now an early 2027 story, not a 2026 one. There's a detail worth knowing. On a compatible phone, T-Satellite can be added to the number you already have, without leaving your carrier. And the fact that the only option working today runs on Starlink, that quietly answers the question of who's ahead. And there's a third name circling that could reset this whole board later. Amazon. It recently agreed to buy a satellite company called Globalstar for more than $11 billion to build its own version of this under the satellite arm it renamed Amazon Leo. Its service is still years away. But when a company that size drops that kind of money just to get a seat at the table, nobody already in the race gets to relax. So here's the real question, and it isn't about switching carriers, it's about knowing exactly where you stand. Are you on the network that already works, or the one you're still waiting on? So here's what we're doing next. That satellite phone we've been comparing all video, there's a good chance you already own one sitting in your pocket right now, switched off and waiting. In the next video, I'll show you exactly what it can do, and the free part almost nobody turns on.